And welcome everyone to Coaster Queens. I am Johnny Cannon 8, but please call me Johnny.
And I'm Mr. You can call me Mr.
Or Michael, either or.
Either or. We'll go Mr. this week. I'll change it every week.
Oh, okay. So it's it's just a guessing game at this point.
Yes.
Who do you feel like being today?
I'm Mr. today.
Yeah, we don't have a guest with us because, come on, the most important people are already speaking.
Yeah.
No offense,
and
Brian.
We're not famous to have no guests sometimes.
We're not that.
We're not that. No.
So, this week we are in Skyland. I'm sorry.
How exciting.
Let me say that again. And this week we are in Skyland. No? Okay. I actually don't know much about this project. You did this a little while ago.
Yeah, this was... I did the entrance first as just a one-off side, when not even the concept art for Universal's... What did they end up calling it? Epic Universe?
I thought it was Fantastic Worlds, but didn't they name it Fantastic?
That was the original rumor that's what it was going to be called. Was going to be called Fantastic World, and that's what this entrance concept was started from.
Yeah.
And from their teaser where they had the compass thing, and anyway, this was based off of that, and so I made this as just a one-off. Hey, this will be kind of fun. And then as I made the entrance, I got really inspired to kind of take it further.
Because I think I was doing a hiatus from the game for just a month or two break, and then you did this. So I think I saw a few screenshots you posted in Bronation, and I was just like, "Oh my god, girl, look at that!" You know, it was one of those things.
Yeah. So this was the roller coaster itself took forever. I did basically just the entrance part with the 0G roll through the keyholes, the gatekeeper. But I didn't really think of anything beyond that. I was just I like this concept. I'm going to just do this. And, and then of course...
Trey Gorge.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I wanted that kind of high fantasy... almost cartoony, but not, I don't know how to describe it, not your typical fantasy.
Right.
That more that kind of WoW sort of.
Well, you've used color well, because you typically
do not.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it like that. I was gonna say you shy away from bold colors, but you use them very well here.
Yeah, this was kind of one of that project where I was I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, and I'm just everything is going to have color.
Yeah.
Nice, bright, vibrant colors. And so, which was a challenge for me because I don't know, I just tend to like that neutral vibe, but this one actually turned out pretty well. I like it.
I love a good planter. I like plants.
Yes, always planters everywhere. They also hide the hole in the pathing issues that is,
Meh. So let's go in. Oh, look how beautiful.
Yes, this is my little, Islands of Adventure inspired entrance plaza. But again, with a more, Islands of Adventure, the, what do they call it? Port of Entry?
Yeah, Port of Entry.
They drew more inspiration from real world stuff, and I was I want to do.
I want fantasy, darling.
Yes. Are you hearing this? Is this coming in the recording?
What?
Can you hear the leaf blower?
No.
Okay, good. Of course they're doing yard work, right? Oh, blowing the roof and the gutters out right next to my. Anyway.
Please excuse Michael as he bitches.
Yeah, technical difficulty return. So I wanted to use elements that could be perceived as like realistic and could be like real, but at the same time, like you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah.
So like the little dragon heads. So like if you go to the tower, the green tower, the little vent windows at the top have little dragon heads.
Have you named them?
No, I have not. And then using different textures was a big point in this one too.
Mm-hmm.
So like the roofing there, I used the scales, which I think kind of fit with the whole dragon thing.
Because I feel like anyone could use stucco or the Spanish tile roofs. Oh, I just noticed.
Yeah.
Okay, I personally find rope very cumbersome to work with. Maybe it's just because I'm lazy, but look at that.
Oh, it is. It is a pain in the butt to work with, but when you can get it to work, the payoff
it's rewarding. Yes,
it is.
So when you made this, was Theme Maker Toolkit a thing?
I think it was just a thing. It might not have been actually at this point. I lose track. I have so many projects. I think actually this was...
Oh my god, these lamps. I love lamps.
Theme Makers.
I love lamp.
That's actually all in-game pieces.
Yes.
Yep.
And
so
this
yeah, this was not pre-Theme Maker now, because I remember, because I see my little snack cart there and it has Theme Maker toolkits. I just have a slight aversion to Theme Maker toolkit items. I don't know why. I just like using in-game pieces. Maybe I just like the challenge. I don't know. But
you love the self-masochism.
Yes, self-deprivation.
Yeah.
All about it. This is probably one of my favorite elements, I think, of this project altogether.
Yeah, because it's quite difficult in this game to be able to make something look perfectly ruined.
Yeah. It's not just that, it's that creating the different shapes and dealing with what pieces I do have, like you have in the game, to use them in a way that they're not necessarily meant to be.
Yeah.
So this was fun, making it completely like falling apart, but not. And then the flaggy, ruggy thing, I don't know, like...
Who doesn't love a good flaggy, ruggy thing?
Yes, just, again, adding that color, that pop of color to something that would not normally be colorful. Like it's a bridge. It's made of stones and stuff, so...
Ooh, I do. Mad batters. Oh, because it's a bakery. Oh!
I do love a good pun, so most of my shops have little, like, puns. Yep, and I thought that, like, the little witch face or whatever, it's perfect for that. Like, I just love using, like, the little in-game pieces that aren't normally used.
So what are you doing here? Did you put a door behind the door to give it that depth?
Yeah, I think it's a window. Okay. Just to give it kind of like just a little depth.
What's this? Knit knots.
Yes. So this is, clothes.
Enjoy our fine, sweatless products.
Because they don't use sweatshops, so there's no sweat involved.
Aww.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not terribly creative and clever when it comes to like little things.
That counts.
Yes. So.
Oh, I love that. To me, it's very Whoville, but yet not, because Whoville is not industrial.
Yeah, like it was. This was a fun one to do, and there's like you can kind of tell, but the upstairs platform is not level or straight. Yeah. So we squared to the other different, so I wanted to give it like that.
I see the top of the column kind of curves.
Yeah, just kind of like that whimsy almost. And then the sign was a pain in the butt to do.
Because it's a banner and you had to sink the stuff into it?
Yeah, so I've seen other people do it with like art pieces. But how I did it is I think there's a combination of 6 different not billboards, signs that are rotated with the same, like based on the same axis, just rotated slightly different. and then positioned just right so that, yeah. It was a pain in the butt, but it was worth it.
Yeah, it pays off.
That, some of the letters are slightly cut off, which I think actually works well.
It adds to it. And I see one of our universe shops, Pax Fudge.
Yes, I love a good pun, and so you gotta have Pax Fudge.
I think I haven't added that into Mesa yet.
Yes,
but
it needs to.
Maybe soon.
Yes, it's just one of those things.
That's one of my favorite parts.
Mine too. That was like the one thing I was like, ooh, this actually.
Because you and I were talking about this earlier because of Disney and how it's like cheap products that's like 100% markup.
Yes. So it's like, oh, this park's gonna have no shame, and there's even paint can up on the little scaffolding.
Yeah.
So, because that's one of the things that I love about Port of Entry that I drew a lot of inspiration from was it has that very like lived-in feel. Like there's all sorts of this little stuff like that where they have like the writing on the walls, little random scaffolding, boarded up windows and stuff. And so.
And this bridge, you've done this bridge similar in another project before, haven't you?
Yes, this bridge and this concept. So I've done. This bridge, the arch part, the broken arch part was done in one of my other fantasy parks that I haven't touched in a while. And then I've done it, I think, in 2 different versions of this bridge and 2 different versions of my, adventure park.
Yeah.
So, I have used it. When I find something that I like, I'm like, oh. Yeah. And then kind of like that same feeling that it is, all of my parks are meant to be the same company.
Right.
And so kind of little homages to other parks and similarities that you kind of go like, oh, that's in their other park. Like the Disney studio parks, they all have some of the same facades. Like I remember in MGM Studios, or it's not MGM Studios anymore, Hollywood Studios in Florida, and the studios portion of California Adventure and the Disney Studios in Paris all have, I think there's 2 or 3 facades that all 3 of them have.
You can tell how old people are by what they call Hollywood Studios. Like if they immediately correct themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not calling you old because I do the same thing.
Yeah, no. But I'm like, they just need to keep the name. I don't know why. I don't remember why they dropped the whole MGM thing.
I think they lost the contract with MGM.
Something like that.
Like how Aerosmith, their contract is coming up, so Disney might have to retheme it soon.
I know they're doing Iron Man in Paris.
No!
I hope they don't do it to...
No! No, because how stupid would that be? You're on Sunset Boulevard. I mean, granted, right now it kind of doesn't make sense anyways. You're on Sunset Boulevard, Tower of Terror, with your beautiful vistas going down the street, and then off to the left down there in that back corner is some Marvel crap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, call me biased, because I don't care much for Marvel, and I think it's a cheap cop-out to do a whole bunch of superhero overlays.
Oh,
when you're not coming up with original content,
Well, yeah. No, Disney's definitely milking the Marvel thing. I am, they got rid of Bugs Land for Marvel, and I'm like, why? I mean, of course, granted, nobody knows what Bugs Life is anymore, which is sad, because it's such a great movie.
I know.
I'm like, with all these reboots that you're doing, Disney, why have you not done a second Bug's Life? If you're going to ruin originals with sequels...
I'm a beautiful butterfly!
Yes.
Okay. Because, that movie, I think I watched it again as an adult, and I'm like, there's so many innuendos.
Oh my gosh, so many. All Disney, old Disney Pixar movies, Pixar in particular, there's quite a few, moments for the adults.
Yes. And I like how this area, it's more on the simplistic side to kind of give your eyes a rest.
Yeah, so it was kind of my thing is you come in and there's just all this detail super enticing you to go further in. Right. But then as you go in, there's other stuff that needs to be drawing your eye. So at this point, the waterfront and the rides that you're going to, if I ever finish this, that you'll come into your view, that's your focus, that your eye is supposed to continue to go in. Yeah. And so, because I thought this project out. I was like, ooh. So.
And then over here we have the rusty anchor. We'll go to the waterfront real quick, because weren't these railings the bane of your existence?
They were. It took me forever to figure out what I wanted to do. I know I didn't like any of the in-game ones. They didn't have the feel that I wanted. And so this is a mix of the in-game cables and like Theme Maker Toolkit beams, like the small beam set. And I believe I was making that during the time that the advanced move tool was
glitching,
quote unquote, functioning as intended.
Yeah.
But it was a little tricky. So, but I got it, and I was like, I'm not touching it ever again.
I do love a good restaurant.
Yes, so this is obviously inspired by, I can't think of the name of it, Islands of Adventure.
It's been moons since I've been there.
Yeah, anyway. So that's kind of where that, and then again, I
do love a good patio.
Yes, a good patio. One of the things that I played around with a lot in this project was using the adventure pieces and non-gridded pieces to really kind of give off like a less perfect vibe and less straight lines. So there's not most of the facades and stuff are not level or straight. There's weird shapes with them. So yeah.
I do love off-grid.
It's a pain in the ass to do.
I do love some good bathroom realness too.
Yes. Just tuck the bathrooms in there. And this one I actually love. I discovered it by accident. I don't remember how, but like the layered arch. So the two arches, but one is slightly lower than the other. Just how it gives it that, because this is a fairly simple facade.
Right.
But that little detail just kind of adds that little bit to it
and some depth.
That makes it feel finished.
Right.
Because that's one of the, like we've talked about it a few times, like how the simple in Planet Coaster sometimes has a hard time actually feeling finished.
Right. And I do love how it's tucked back off the path, because a lot of times people crowd around bathrooms waiting for their people. So that's a great idea too. I love that.
So that's tucked in there.
Tucked up in there. And then this splendid area.
Yeah, so, okay, look over to the right. This little lagoon, I just love how this turned out. And this wing coaster, this is probably, it took me a long time, several rides to figure out the layout that I wanted for this. And finally settled on this, and I just love how it fits in with the little lagoon and all the little grasses. And
since it's only the entrance in this area with the coaster, we can take the time to ride the wing coaster.
Oh, yes, because this project is not very far along.
It's okay. We enjoy beauty for beauty's sake.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go in.
Yes, so let's continue.
To the Twisted Oak.
So this area, like I wanted, transition can be really difficult. And so this area is kind of like that transitional area a little bit. And I did I think it was the Mystic Oak was the original concept in Islands of Adventure before Harry Potter Land. And I absolutely loved it. And I was like, ooh, this will fit in perfectly.
Don't mind me, I'm just getting a good screenshot.
So I copied a lot of it and used the wonderful root pieces from Adventure that I think these were from.
I think so.
And then
isn't there a yeah, okay, it's in the back, that's right.
Yes, there's a little patio. That would be like where you come, like you're leaving, like you'd walk out. But there is a little patio, Archer for scale, a little cozy. Like this is not like that big theme park scale, but a little more of that cozy eatery.
Yeah. If you want to get away from the madness.
Yeah, and a little waterfront.
I live for seclusion in theme parks.
It is so nice. I do like the little areas where you just kind of tucked away. And that's the little staff area for behind the restaurant.
And that's something I never think about, but it's such a nice touch when people actually do it.
Yeah, and it's hard because a lot of times they are less hidden than you think they would be. Mm-hmm. And they use other stuff to kind of draw your attention away from them. And so it's kind of like trying to do that, being like, well, if you know it's there, you'll see it. But if you're kind of paying attention to all the other stuff in the area, it doesn't really like pull your attention.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay, I'm done getting screenshots. And these lanterns. You told me you didn't know if you were in love with this.
Yeah, so the original concept of this themed area that we're about to go into was going to be similar to Harry Potter, mm-hmm. the Wizarding World of Hogsmeade. And I kind of started doing it. I was like, this isn't quite giving off the vibe that I'm wanting. Mm-hmm. But I, spent hours making these facades. So I'm like, maybe I'll think about it. Maybe this will be kind of the outer transitional period.
Maybe if you go more in the gray and brown scale, because I know you were trying to introduce that color, but maybe that's what's throwing you off.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, because if you look at Hogsmeade or even Diagon Alley, there's like no color to the buildings themselves. Actually, I think Diagon Alley might have a little bit more color, but Hogsmeade, they're just brown and grayscale.
Yeah, which that might be what the issue is. So then you walk into here, and very, unfinished, but...
Okay, I want to point this out. Your little chain lift? Or is that the actual thing? Did you do that, or is that the actual coaster?
No, that's the Maker Toolkit items.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yes. Yeah, it's like the beams, because the beams are like... It's just those little details that like you don't really think about, but then when you notice them, you're like, oh my gosh.
So this is actually... This is your park, you talk, girl.
This is, I know, me first, I'm talking. Heavily inspired by Avalon at Toverland and Phoenix. And so this had that, kind of like that whimsy that I was really wanting this whole park to kind of have.
Yeah.
So this is the exit shop. And this was another project where I was wanting to really incorporate different levels. And instead of just working on a flat canvas, being like, you know what, we're going to just add multiple levels. And so the exit comes out underneath the entrance.
Love it. So let's go up to the entrance.
Yeah. So this is a little entrance area.
And you know what I might do? Let's look at this real quick, and then I'm gonna open the park, and we're gonna follow a peep into the line, because you know me, I'll get stuck in Tejikam.
Oh yeah, with this particular queue, it's very and so with Tejikam.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is, I get much more Harry Potter vibes on this side.
Yeah. So that was another facade that I did. I'm like, and it was weird. I got a lot of the ideas for the facades for that from like Pinterest. If you look up it's weird. I don't remember how I found it because I was looking at like different architecture and like fantasy stuff because that's that's my little niche that I love to build in. And it's like you can find like creepy fantasy dollhouse models or something like that, and you find all these fun little quirky like things to do. So
and have nightmares while you're at it.
Yes,
maybe
of
that's
course.
just me.
But and if you might be stuck on the sign, but if you
can but I'm making the best of it.
Okay, so the sign there's little details and it's small. I wanted to go for I liked with Phoenix at Toverland. The sign for the ride was not over like obnoxious and like obvious.
Oh, okay. I was literally right on top of it.
Yeah. And so the concept of the story of this ride is that there's like this dark wizards guild that was doing like dark magic that they weren't supposed to be doing to try to protect their town. And they unleashed this like flying fury, which is supposed to be like this magical spell that has taken a life of its own and is causing havoc.
Ooh. That's dark. You know me and some dark storylines.
Yeah, because I was like, I kind of like the whole gatekeeper thing, like, because it does go over the gate, so I wanted something similar to kind of like how to do that, but with Whimsy. So,
Right.
yeah. And I love the sightline, like looking at the lift hill, like as you're standing at the entrance, like you just see like the ride just looming over the area and just waiting for you.
It's waiting.
I love it.
All right, people, wait just a moment while we find a peep. Hold, please.
Like, this ride is legit lit, like figuratively and literally.
Literally. Where are you going? Go straight. You were going towards the roll. Oh my god.
She got tired.
Is she on a bench?
Yes.
Girl.
She's like, ooh, I'm gonna go ride this ride, but I'm gonna sit down first. Oh, there she
Look
is.
at her.
There she is again.
Where?
Oh, she got to sit down. No, she's like, nope, I'm not going. Oh, now she's gonna go. She wants to go use. Okay, find someone that wants to go. She's like, I'm gonna use the claw machine. I walked all over.
Oh my god, the ride broke down.
That's why. I don't know if I have any mechanics. You might have to hire one.
Oh my god. Lovely.
So, like, one of the big things, like, with this project that I really was trying to do was lighting. I mean, I'm not some people. There are some people who are just, I mean, lighting gods. But,
Gods, yes.
So, this is the lovely little queue. It might take a while because it's
cute. I hate myself sometimes. I'm gonna fast forward.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say, and you can kind of look around. I think you can adjust the camera a little bit as you're in this. And you like click and move around a little bit. Yeah. So this is another, like, I really wanted you to like see the beginning parts of the ride, like see the ride, and really just kind of build that anticipation. Anticipation. Oh my gosh. Speaking of which, my cat is like deciding now is the time that he needs the
Play with me.
Yeah.
Now we're going inside.
So there's going to be a portion that's not finished, and then
we'll fast forward.
There will be, yes. Just ignore. And then you're gonna have to look around at this part.
Music.
Oh yes, this is another thing too, like playing with sound. So like really giving off those kind of like dark magic-y vibes. So this is a lovely little queue and the little candles. I love how the candles kind of like reflect on those windows. This just was so, like, it was really hard to do this in this tight little space.
Yeah, because isn't this underneath the station?
Yeah. And then the little, theme park. There's an exit right here, like, and then this is supposed to be where the split would be to go to either side, and that's like the person that would be like, stop, like, okay, now you can go to this side.
Right. Because it's a wing coaster, so you pick your side.
Yes. And then...
Ooh, could use the rope as the banister. Or the handrail.
Yep, there's another exit there. And then I did like the lighting, the wall slightly offset from the path, and doing like that underneath lighting that you see sometimes. It's like just really having fun with this and playing around with concepts and ideas that I don't do.
Oh, the
and
station.
Pause it, like, and look around. Like, this is heavy. Like,
I mean, she's on the damn ride now.
She is for sure. But yeah, I wanted to that.
Well, we might as well ride it now.
I guess so. That Phoenix Toverland like vibe, but a little more darker because they kind of have that. I think their station's a little more bright and vibrant.
Yeah.
Whereas I was like, no, I want it dark. So yeah, this is Flying Fury. You go up the lift hill.
This is also one of our very first POVs.
Yeah. Lighting a lift hill is a lot harder than I thought. Like, at least dealing with the advanced move and getting the lights to line up where they want, and to actually get the light to show where I want it. And
I've only played around with lights on a lift hill once, and I didn't end up doing much. I wasn't going crazy with it, so it just never went anywhere.
Yeah.
I've actually never been on a wing coaster.
I haven't either. I mean, I've been on X and X2, but Wee.
I want to be that parent that has like the kid in like the laundry basket at the TV. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't even remember what I was going to say. I'm admiring my point of view right now. I'm like, wow, the smoothing of this was like a pain in the butt to do.
Oh, sure.
And there's still some parts where I need to fix that are a little choppy, but... And then I wish the freaking roller coasters made realistic braking sounds, but they don't. They make that weird little like clicky.
Yeah.
Whee! And then I love this little area.
Oh, I don't have your billboards.
Oh no, I forgot to send those to you. Anyway, yeah, so I had to find how theme parks often do, where they paint like a faux background on something. So I found like some, not even like painted trees, like graphic looking trees. Like I wanted it to be not even like watercolor, like, oh, we're going to attempt to make it realistic. It's like, no, we just kind of slap this together to just kind of do it. And then, yeah.
All right, I'm jumping into the... Look at that ceiling.
So yeah, that's I did a billboard, like I wanted using the candle chandelier, but then like the bowl, the different candles. Like it was just kind of like, I really wanted it to...
And then the creepy ambient music. Yeah.
Yes. Always the creepy kind of that. And then again, using, like, if you notice, the clouds are slightly above where the incline is, and there's lights kind of hidden in the gap between the ceiling, the center ceiling and the like side ceiling.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then having to do the custom fencing gates on the side that is not a loading side. It's on the right side.
Because it's magical how they can just jump across.
Yes, they just jump right over, you know.
Yeah, so let's get some beautiful night shots. Like, oh, look at that.
Yes. So lighting is not complete, for sure, but definitely was something that I wanted to play around with in this project. So the Oak Restaurant is lit.
Mm-hmm.
Real front and back.
Oh my gosh, autosave. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So that's lit.
Lit. And the subtle lanterns, love those.
Yeah, like it's hard. It's really hard to make lanterns and use lights in this game that like just haven't been done and make them look different.
I love the temperature lights you used in this area.
Yes, that's another thing. Like playing with the different colors. Mm-hmm. Ignore the fact that I have not lit the Rusty Anchor.
We're not looking at Rusty Anchor.
Sponsored by PG&E.
Ah.
We do not bring the power.
I love how people know who PG&E is. Like, I know what PG&E is because of Aaron Brockovich.
Well, I mean...
Am I thinking of the same thing?
I don't know. All I just know is that they started, like, a huge-ass fire, and, they admitted it, basically, that they've neglected... Like, there's another one one of the recent fires out here, because, you know, California's burning, as always. We are the Ring of Fire.
Oh, my God. If you don't like dark jokes, leave our channel.
I do have, working in healthcare, I definitely have a very dark sense of humor.
You have to.
But yeah. And then, one of the details I wanted to point out, before we walk through it. So I used the little Mad Bat, or the little witch on the rentals building. The cables go into her mouth to support the little awning.
Isn't she this little stupid slut?
Yeah. Just doing like little details like that I really liked. And again, wanting to use pieces that you never really see used.
Oh, I love that. Now I can't stop admiring it. Okay, go away, John.
Just adds like that little detail.
And then those big old banners.
Oh yeah, one of those, like, I think it's Universal that I've seen do it, and probably a couple parks, where they're just like, they have this beautiful entrance, and then there's like, we're just gonna put like this giant banner just randomly right there.
We're gonna frame that right there.
This is Skyland.
Hold on, I gotta... Whatever, I'll play around with it later. Anywho, well, this is Skyland. Michael's,
Yes.
eighth
One of
child.
my
I don't know.
one of my many projects that I've started and kind of stopped and
But
started and
you've left
restarted.
this one alone for a good 6 months, maybe?
Yeah, this one, the thing is that I'm realizing with this sort of fantasy and this in-depth detail is there is a burnout. And their inspiration does run out because it's not, especially with this one, because I'm not relying, I mean, I do have inspiration from real life parks, but the more time I spend on a fantasy project like this, I start to realize that I really start, instead of drawing inspiration, just directly like ripping from.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I need a break from this. And then I don't remember, I think it was after this one is when I got back into, not studios, I think Adventure Kingdom, I got back into that.
And then
I got back into studio.
The first rendition.
Yes. Oh yeah, I think that's what it was. The first rendition of studios, and then I rage quit that one after this. Like I did that, and then I rage quit because I built myself into like a corner or something, and then did something else, and then I was like looking at this the other day, like just looking at all my park saves because I have a bazillion like saves on my computer. I was like, oh, I've been in here in a while. I'm like, do I still like this? Because that's the problem too, is I take a break and then I come back like several months later. I'm like, I hate all of it.
You're tacky and I hate you.
But I don't hate this. So I may come back to it eventually and work on it some more.
Snaps for Michael.
When I get some more ideas and actually some inspiration.
Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching us Coaster Queers as we explore Skyland.
Yes. The
Yes.
fabulous, colorful world of Skyland.
Yes. So please, if you do like us, like and subscribe us as well on the fabulous The Tubes of You.
Yes.
And such things. As always, I am Johnny Cannonate. Thank you so much for watching.
And Mister, I hope you enjoyed this little, very unfinished project.
Are you not going to say it? Stay classy.
Stay classy.